Hi everyone, and welcome to the Capricorn May 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance, or more simply put, to better find where you fit. So hi and welcome everyone. This reading, we are going to be taking a look at your internal energy, what you're bringing into the month of May. We'll be pulling some cards for what's going on around you in your external environment. And then we're going to be looking at what are the challenges that you're being asked to face this month, to not only face but overcome them, to better unlock something about your unique self, and to allow you through that to better understand your path and purpose and your spiritual importance. Why are you here? What are you meant to bring to the greater collective experience? So as I'm shuffling the cards, well, we'll take that right off the bat there, Capricorn, and I'm going to say hi and welcome to everyone who is both new and returning. Everyone who is returning, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. I really appreciate that. And for all of you who are new, welcome. I hope you find this reading illuminating. For those of you who are not aware, there is a extended for this reading if you would like to watch that after this. In that reading, we will go into love a little deeper, and then I will actually pull additional clarifier cards for the cards that come out during this reading. All right, so Capricorn, you are bringing this month, this is a beautiful energy to bring into the month of May. It is a card of financial independence. It's a card of being very emotionally happy, but coming to this place of kind of making this wish. That's what the Nine of Cups is. The Nine of Cups is a heart's wish for true fulfillment. And you're bringing this in with the energy of the Nine of Pentacles. So you have two nines here, which nines are one step away from the completion of a 10 card cycle. And this is showing that things are kind of wrapping up right now with a cycle in your life, but that you are sitting in this beautiful energy of appreciation and the understanding of how far you've come and what you've created for yourself. But there's also this feeling in understanding that there's a new cycle beginning, and it's time to go out and find that, to make that wish. And that wish may take you outside of this Nine of Pentacles kind of comfort zone. And the Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful energy where it is all that we've attained for ourselves. It's where we're comfortable. It's where we feel secure. But there is this element of, in order to get to the Ten of Pentacles, which is the ultimate legacy for ourselves, what we want to achieve and manifest in the physical, we have to leave this safety and security to go out to find the 10th pentacle. And in your external environment this month, there's another beautiful energy, a very supportive energy with this. It's the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is what I like to call the hopeful romantic. He is somebody who's going to wear his heart on his sleeve. He's going to hold his cup out to the world, his cup of his emotional needs, and he's going to go out with a sense of optimism, rose-colored glasses, and he's going to go on his adventure and share with others from his cup as much as he's looking to seek that from them. So there's this beautiful energy of Pisces coming through, and Pisces is kind of a big player as we move into May. It's a big player right now as I'm filming this at the end of April. But it's this, again, this kind of romantic quality of almost falling back in love with the adventure. And why are you being asked to kind of make this wish within yourself and to get ready to leave this comfort zone from an internal basis to go out to greet the world with this newfound sense of romantic gesture and, again, an eye to adventure? It's because the cycle is wrapping up, and because now you're being faced with a choice. The Two of Wands is when it's that moment where we have to kind of pick, where do we go from here? You notice it's an individual between two wands, and he's holding the world in his hands. And he's, he can go this way and choose this wand, or he could go the other way and choose the other wand. And the wands represent passion and action. And so at this point, you're really being asked to take action by making a decision to move forward from this place. And it will herald in a new cycle for yourselves. But it's hard to know where to go and how to make that choice if you don't ultimately know that deep dream for yourself. What is that wish you want to make? What would you want to leave your comfort zone for? What would get you to want to engage as this optimistic romantic out in the world again? All right, so now I'm going to pull cards here to take a look at the challenges. What are the blocks coming up this month that you are meant to face and overcome so that you can get ready to make this big life decision? Oh, that's interesting. So I have cards the other way there. Okay, so we have Princess of Wands, beautiful, really ties back in here. So this is the Page of Wands in the traditional tarot. We have the Fool, the Star, of course. Everybody's been getting the Star this month, which I think is so wonderful. But with the Fool coming in right here, this is that cosmic reset. This is that 0 point field. You're starting a cycle, and it's not even just another cycle coming in. This is where you clear the decks and you're truly moving forward as another version of yourself almost. And then we have 8 of Wands. And we'll get one more card here. So with the Page of Wands coming up in your challenge position, the Page of Wands is a card that really speaks to playing with your passions, but from that point of, or from the perspective of an optimistic child, of kind of getting back in touch with your own personal magic and really going out there with a playful element of maybe getting back in touch with something you're good at, or a passion or a hobby that you've enjoyed, and almost just going out there for the sake of going out there and enjoying it. You're not looking to make money from it. You're not looking to impress people with it. It's like, I'm just going to go out there and enjoy this. But where that can become a block is when we don't want to kind of go back into almost that beginner's mindset, where we don't want to realize that sometimes, again, in order for us to leave the stability we've created for ourselves and kind of what we know in the physical, which is the 9 of Pentacles, that is the physical stability. The Page of Wands is a little bit more of a free spirit. This is almost like the child who has the magic wand who's like, poof, look at this, poof, look at that, like, look how cool this is. But at the same time, there's a learning energy with that. There's an understanding that just like a child, we don't always know how good we will be at something until we practice with it. And so that's kind of what this is coming down to. It's almost like you're having to brush off the dust and get back in touch with this passionate part of yourself, or a certain skill set that you kind of left behind as you were focusing on some other things in your life. And now it's about getting back out there and playing with these passions, playing with this part of yourself, but in a fun way, and understanding that, yeah, you may trip up or make a few mistakes, but that's all in the fun. And if you can understand that it's not in a vein of, looking to leave your kind of walled security to go out and look like a fool, because this is the Fool, and I'm getting kind of that feeling of like, you don't want to look like a fool going out there, but that's not what this is all about. Spirit is pushing you to go out there to literally get to that point where you kind of wipe the slate clean. The Fool with the 0 coming through. 0 is, I like to say it's a number, but it's more of a concept. The number 0 holds a lot of power within itself. It is really where there is nothing but everything. It is kind of like that moment of inception, truly. That kind of understanding that we can't truly understand that how something can come from nothing. And yet, here you are. Here you're faced with that, to understand that at this point you have a fresh chance at moving towards and achieving your star. Now the star is in the heart of your reading, and the star is, this is what Spirit's asking you, the energy is asking you to embrace as you move through this challenge to help overcome it. And what I love about this is that, you know, a lot of times with the star card, this is where we kind of get in touch with the kind of big hope, dream, grand need fulfillment that we have for ourselves, that we kind of are guided by internally throughout our entire life, something that we deeply want to experience and manifest for ourselves. But we kind of have this, we can get into this mindset of where this is external to us, like we're always having to be on the journey to get to the star, that we have to, that it's always kind of out of arm's reach. And you know, it's interesting, I was listening this morning to one of my favorite readers, Jay from Aquarian Insight, and for those of you who haven't watched her, I would highly recommend it. But she was mentioning how, you know, we often think the star is beyond us, or we have this kind of will to happiness, that we're always kind of pursuing happiness instead of in the moment asking ourselves, are we happy? And we can bring that back to the star concept as well. We have to embody the star first. We have to understand that that big hope, dream, or wish for ourselves comes from within us. It's not dangling like a carrot by the divine external to us. It's actually within ourselves. It's almost like a compass to say, this is what you need to feel fulfilled, but you, in the understanding of that, can start to create that for yourself in the moment. You can become the star. And with this coming up at the heart of your reading, and this is what you're being asked to embrace, that really is that message coming through here of you're being asked to become your greatest hope and wish fulfillment. You, as a person, embodying it as having the faith to wipe the slate clean. You know, I'm really feeling with the Fool coming in, this is where you get to wipe the slate clean of past resentments, of past hurts, of past pretty much anything. This is where you might have done something and failed in the past, or you might have had to restart a few times. But this is that point where you get to create for yourself the star. You get to really lean into that energy and go forward as this optimistic child, as I'm just going to have fun this time around. That's what I'm feeling here. It's like, this time around, I'm not going to take things so seriously. I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to be the person who already has that fulfillment. Because once you do, things are going to pick up really fast here, Capricorn. We have the Eight of Wands. This is fast movement. This is quick communication. This can even be an email or a text. It lends to electronic communication now because of that quick element to it. And I think what some of you don't realize is that once you lean into this and you commit to kind of wiping the slate clean and embodying what you most want and are ready to do what it takes to create your ultimate legacy and to really make that wish for yourself, things are going to move quickly this month. Now, your last point of challenge here is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is where we get a chance to kind of take a break. We get a chance to reflect. And we get to look at, in our mind, the stories that we carry with us, the thoughts, the wounds that we carry with us. And we realize, what are the wounds that have been imposed on us by others that we carry forward, and where is our truth hiding among those wounds? Now, this can look like where, in the past you were working for bosses who, even though you were working your hardest and trying to do your best, all they had for you were negative words. Like, oh, it's such a shame, you didn't work 12 hours yesterday when you worked 12 hours every other day up until that point, but that one day you were exhausted. Or somebody tells you, you could have been a better public speaker at some point. Or this could be where you have friends or family who told you that you weren't good enough or smart enough to do something. Or this can also be in a romantic element where, somebody told you weren't lovable or that you weren't easy to live with. It's all these little things that sometimes they can be a very minor comment that somebody just throws out there, but yet it sticks. It sticks in our mind, and we sit there and we carry that forward as part of our truth. We then move forward and we hide our truth by those wounds. by those comments, where we move forward and we're like, yeah, I guess I'm really not that great at business, or I guess I am a little naive, or I guess I'm hard to live with, and I guess that's how I'm always going to be, so I might as well never live with anybody. And we realize that suddenly, when we have this moment of reflection and we get a chance to really dive deep and say, you know what? No, I get to appreciate who I am as an individual. I get to appreciate how far I've come. I get to appreciate the strength I've had to get to this point. And now it's almost like realizing all I need is my vision for what I want. All I need is to literally get in touch with that heart's, that making that wish, that ultimate like heart's wish, and then carrying it forward. And that's how you're going to get out here to the Knight of Cups, is you're going to realize, wow, I don't have to, it's interesting. I always love the image on this specific card in this deck, is that it's like almost like all these people have put their swords down. And the beautiful thing is, as they're sitting here chatting, and maybe they've all just, maybe they're around an oasis and they've all just met each other there, is that each one of them gets up and picks up their own sword when they leave. No one person has to carry all of this with them. And that's the beauty. It's like you get this chance to realize, like, oh, I get to remember the story of this person. That person can now take their sword back with them. That boss who told me I wasn't good enough, that boss can take their story back. Or that parent can take their story back. And we get that chance then to just walk away with this fresh perspective. But where we can get stuck is when we're just stuck mulling over it and we're not ready to move forward. And I think here you're really blocking yourself, Capricorn, because the energy is moving quickly. You're being asked to move, and you're being asked to move on a dream. And it's waiting for you. That's what's out here. It's the romantic adventure is waiting for you. And you just have to make that choice to move in that direction. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull 3 cards down here. We're going to pull a card for curiosity, a card for courage, and a card for contemplation. So this first card here, we're going to take a look at where Spirit would like you to be curious. Basically, we're going to ask a question around the card, the energies of the card that comes up, and this is going to allow Spirit a channel to come in and answer this question for you, so that it can better help illuminate really areas where you are blocked here, or where you're maybe a little afraid to kind of go through this cosmic reset and make this decision as to where you want to go from here. Okay, so what does Capricorn need to know about where to stay curious? Okay, so we have 3 cards that came out. 1 card upside down. So we have, not upside down, but face down. So we have journey and financial constraints. Okay, this is exact. So the journey card really lines up with the Knight of Cups and the financial constraints. This is almost like, for me, the 4 of Pentacles coming through. Number 13, which actually is the number, it's the number of the death card in the tarot, but it's a number that harnesses death and rebirth. It's the number of transformation, which is beautiful. So there really is something here about wanting to go on this, understanding there is a new journey, a new cycle happening. It is this kind of big romantic adventure, but that you feel almost like you're held back by financial constraints. And this can be where, I always love this card. For those of you who can see it here, there's this element of, it's like a, what do you call it? Like a safe. One of the doors is open and all you can see is like cobwebs and a couple little coins, and that's it. And then on the other side, the door is closed. Now we don't know what's on the other side. You could open that door and there could be, a whole chest of gold, or it could be a stack of books with all the information you need to move forward, or a will. Who knows? But there's almost this feeling here of transforming this kind of poverty mindset and realizing that if it's meant to be for you, and in order to understand what's meant to be for you, you have to lean into that connecting emotionally. What do you want? What do you want to feel? What do you want to leave as a legacy? What do you want to experience on this earth before your experience is over? And are you really going to let money get in the way of you experiencing that? The beauty of what I've learned in my own adventures, so to speak, is that nothing will be denied to you that you deeply hope and dream and wish for, but you have to take the courage to go out and take action and move towards it. That's the Knight of Cups. You have to get on that horse and you have to start going. And we have to meet destiny halfway through our own free will. And I'm really feeling that for you, Capricorn. It's time. And the other thing I've learned in my own life is that there will always be enough, and maybe just enough. It might not be, a winning lottery ticket, but you'll always be supported as you move towards your ultimate highest potential, which is achieving the star for yourself. Those two things are in alignment with what spirit or the universe or the grand architect needs from us, but also we get to be fulfilled at the same time. And then we have patience that came out face down, which is number 16, breaking down to a 7, which is beautiful because that's having faith in the divine. That's having that moment to really have confidence both in yourself and in the divine and melding those together at one point. And I love how there's this feeling here of, kind of like a winter queen holding a clock. Sometimes we feel like we want something instantaneous, meaning we want to go on that journey and immediately feel, we want to leave our walled garden and we want to immediately feel fulfilled. We want to immediately have that dream, that legacy. And the realization here is that it doesn't work like that, meaning we have to be prepared to start the journey on faith, which is with the full knowledge of what we want for ourselves and what's going to fulfill us. But what's also going to give us that sense of meaning and purpose, not a will to happiness, but what's ultimately going to make us feel fulfilled. That when we close our eyes and we imagine that vision for ourselves, we are brought to tears of joy. It goes so far beyond just happiness. It goes to this place of true purpose and meaning and fulfillment. And it may take a little while for you to go out on this journey. It may literally be that you have to start and just, again, kind of trust in what you know, trust that what is going to happen is going to come to you. I see, again, fast moving action here. I have a feeling it's going to happen quickly. But I think for some of you, you're afraid that you're going to have to wait as long as you did maybe in this last cycle of like, I've been through so much. I don't want to have to go through another 25-year cycle. And what I feel right here, because again, this is where we're being asked to be curious, so that Spirit can come in and guide you to a place where you can have the courage and the confidence to make this decision to move forward and really move forward with this fast energy, is where do you not have, basically, what are you holding yourself back from at this point, under the false perception that it may take another 10 years, 25 years, you name it. And where is this element of actually a lack of patience coming in, where you want it now and you don't want to go out on an adventure unless you have a guarantee. You don't want to leave this walled garden unless you know for sure. And what would you do if you knew that everything would be taken care of for you? That's really what's coming through here, is to understand that I'm also really feeling for you guys, what the beauty of life is the journey. It's not the ultimate destination. We can embody our star at any given time because we don't know when this day is going to be our last. To be perfectly honest, I don't want to take this to a dour point or place, but that is the reality of our life experience here. We don't know if we have it tomorrow. So in this moment, we need to carry with us on an emotional level that beautiful realization of our heart's fulfillment. And we need to try to find any way in this day to express that and live that. while also understanding that we are on a journey, and that there is more to be done, and there's more to grow and more to see and more to do. And that's where the patience comes in. But that this time around, it's not going to, if you keep your eyes focused within and you keep your eyes focused on the journey, it's going to feel like it comes in like that. So again, keep in mind, all else aside, ask yourself this question: what would I be doing right now if I knew that I would be supported, that I would have all the money in the world, or somebody would come in and help with, the moving, or somebody would come in and help whatever, make the travel plans? What would you do? All right, so now I'm going to pull a card for the concept of courage. And this is where Spirit would like you to have courage to take action. And also what to keep in mind as you're taking courageous action for this month. I always like to say all action takes courage. Even for some of us, just getting out of bed in the morning is a courageous endeavor. So it's something to keep in mind as you go through the day and you make those little decisions to take action, that each one of those decisions you make takes a little bit of courage. I love it. It says surrender resentments. It says holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in life. I love this. This really does kind of highlight the Four of Swords here. Again, we can sit and we can sometimes, not only are we, hiding our own truth and our own ability to see ourselves behind the negative, words and thoughts of others, but we can also sit there and resent those people for the words and thoughts and actions that they've taken against us, but we're still carrying the burden of them. And this is where you get that beautiful chance with the Fool energy to release. You get to start fresh. You get to be, I'm kind of thinking of like 2001 Space Odyssey, you get to be the star child. You get to go back to the inception of who you are and all that lies within, and you get the chance to start the journey towards your ultimate fulfillment. And that journey starts now. This is a really powerful reading, Capricorn, very different than the other two readings I've done thus far. I did Taurus and Virgo over the past couple days, and this one is a really big, really big push. I really feel like you guys are, each one of you with your own story is coming through. There's a lot of changing and a lot of growth potential to come. If you're willing to, again, release these resentments and really just come back to you, the beauty of your soul, who you are, your uniqueness, and it's almost like just focus on yourself and your journey, and the rest will open up for you. All right, and then Capricorn but remember, there's also this Page of Wands coming through. It's about play. It's about having fun. And yes, Capricorn, you can have fun. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a card for Contemplation. And this is the place where Spirit would like you to reflect on, a message to reflect on for the month of May, to kind of help underscore this reading. I knew this card was going to come up when I asked that question. This is so funny. It says, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew you would be fully given everything you need, what would you be doing right now in this moment? I mean, it doesn't get more clear than that, Capricorn. You're being asked to have faith in yourself, to have faith in the beauty that you were created with and to express. And you're really being asked to just lean into that and lean in to what's coming in. In May, I get this feeling that there's going to be something that you're going to be asked to either, with this Eight of Wands coming in, it's either communication, where somebody's going to present you with something. This could be a job opportunity. This could be a discussion that leads to kind of a bigger opening to express your star. This could be where all of a sudden you are asked to go on a trip, or you're asked to, maybe your partner's like, let's move houses. It's things like that where it's like all of a sudden you got to get in gear. You got to get ready to move, but it's going to have something to do directly with a great dream or wish or ultimate heart's fulfillment, but it is going to take you out of a comfort zone. But you're being asked to do that with a sense of optimism and hope and romance again. There's an element of romance and leaning into the fun element of life. And I did see that snuck out under here, the Ace of Wands is under here. We'll get into that more in the extended. All right, Capricorn, so I'm going to leave you here for this. If you would like to learn more about what to expect around the energy of love for the month of May, and to dive deeper into the Ace of Wands, the idea or inspiration that's coming through, and then to pull additional clarifiers here, you can click on the link in the description box below to view that. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can also visit my website. That link is also down below. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderfully illuminating and loving and romantic and fun month of May, Capricorn. And I look forward to reading for you again in June's Illumination reading. Bye.